देखिए, अगर आपको थ्रिलर्स देखना पसंद है देन गियर अप फॉर कनखजूरा सोनी लिव पे जो आने वाला है। बहुत अमेजिंग कास्ट है और अगर आपने टीजर देखा है देन आई थिंक जस्ट लाइक मी यू मस्ट बी इंट्रीग्ड। तो कितना हम अंदर की खबरें निकाल सकते हैं। वी हैव विद अस वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट कास्ट मेंबर्स विद अस, त्रिनेत्रा। इनसे हम कोशिश करेंगे निकालने की, बट फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, त्रिनेत्रा, अ वार्म वार्म वेलकम टू यू ऑन पंजाब केसरी नवोदय टाइम्स।
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here.
Lovely to have you, but just tell me, yeah, we are really intrigued with whatever we saw in the teaser कि भाई क्या होगा क्या नहीं, क्या कहानी है, कितना suspense, कितना thrill.
हाँ, हाँ.
What do I expect as an audience now?
I would say go in completely unprepared because you have no idea what's waiting for you. It's a genre which I have not explored before. तो बहुत ही मजा
Mhm.
आया shoot करने में. It's a crime thriller. It's based on an international show called Magpie, which is basically about a man who has been in prison for almost 14 years. ठीक है?
Okay.
And he's a little eccentric, थोड़ा different, हटके. He's not exactly quote unquote normal. And जब वो बाहर आता है, everyone thinks that he's so innocent and so this thing, but he's actually very manipulative. He knows how to, get into everybody's head and get exactly what he wants. And now he's actually working for the cops and doing what the cops want, by manipulating everybody outside in the real world. And मेरा जो character है, I used to be Ashu's friend as a child, right?
Okay.
But it was Amay, and when he's come out, I have transitioned, and I'm Amy now. And that bond between Ashu and Amy is still there. But what Amy does not realize is वो उसको भी manipulate कर रहा है to get what he wants and what information he needs from this society. So, and the thing is, with Amy, it's so manipulative because it's actually him using her vulnerability, that she's a trans woman, she's lonely, she's in an abusive relationship with somebody. He uses that against her. He
Okay.
forms a romantic relationship with her to get the information that he needs. And ऐसा बहुत कुछ करके he gets exactly what he wants. And I think that's what the story is very interesting in. मतलब क्या क्या करके ये info जैसे आप निकाल रही हैं information, वो कैसे निकालता है information. That's the interesting bit, which I think everyone will really enjoy watching. Yeah.
राइट राइट। और जैसे आई थिंक द नेम बिकम्स एप्ट कनखजूरा, जैसे उसके लिए कहा जाता है कि अगर वो दिमाग में घुस जाता है तो फिर काफी दिक्कत होती है। सो आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि कोशिश यही है एक्टर्स की कि जो ऑडियंस है उसके दिमाग में घुस के फिर हम
हाँ,
क्वेश्चंस, यू कीप क्वेश्चनिंग कि क्या होगा, ये होगा या ये नहीं होगा।
बिल्कुल। आई थिंक जिस तरीके से शो को लिखा गया है, जिस तरीके से अडेप्ट किया गया है फ्रॉम द इंटरनेशनल वर्जन टू गोवा, चंदन, फुल क्रेडिट टू चंदन द डायरेक्टर एंड क्रिएटर, हुज डन दैट, कि एकदम लास्ट एपिसोड तक आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि एग्जैक्टली क्या होने वाला है, लाइक व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस पर्सनस head, in this person's mind. And that is the interesting part about my character also, where I feel like as Amy, even I can't understand what is happening in, in this person's head the entire time. And I think that's the most beautiful part about this show and this character, that they've kept the suspense so sort of going through each
राइट।
episode that it keeps you hooked. So
करेक्ट।
the fact that I got to be part of this, that I got to act alongside Roshan, जो बहुत ही talented actor हैं, fan रही हूँ उनका for many many years now, because he's amazing in Malayalam cinema if you've watched
राइट।
his work. तो जब पता चला कि I've been cast opposite him, I was just like, yes. Like
यस।
this.
पर हाउ डिड इट हैपन, हाउ डिड द प्रोजेक्ट कम टू यू, कैसे हो?
So this was shortly after Maiden Heaven. Maiden Heaven was released in August 2023, and uske baad I had another show called Rainbow Rishta, which came out on Amazon Prime, which was a docu series. And shortly after, I think 3-4 months after that, Mukesh Chabra sir, he's a casting director, everybody knows him. Uh, Office reached out with this part, saying that they were adapting it to India. Mm, and I auditioned and I got the part. I auditioned
ओके।
like any
ओके, बट टेल मी कि जनरली जब कोई सीरीज को हम इंडिया के लिए अडेप्ट करते हैं, सो एज एन एक्टर, इज इट योर प्रोसेस कि आप देखें ये जो इजरायली सीरीज मैकपाई आपने देखी इसको, डिड यू ड्रॉ सम इंस्पिरेशन फॉर योर कैरेक्टर, या आप एक फ्रेश अप्रोच लेना चाह रही
I wanted to do both, to be honest. So the first thing I did for my prep was I watched Magpie, from start to finish. Because I didn't want to watch the show to replicate the character. जो मुझे explore करना था was the bond between Ashu and Amy. What intimacy do they have? How do they behave with each other? तो
थी?
उस relationship को explore करने के लिए I wanted to watch the show, but to also create the character, I felt there was no point in watching the show itself because Amy is dramatically different from the international counterpart. Like, शायद दूसरे characters में similarities होंगी between them and their international counterparts, but Amy इतनी unique है अपने आप में, not just the way that she looks, but the way that she talks, the way she behaves. In real life, I'm very put together. I'm very poised and elegant. But Amy, पागल है कि ऐसे बात करती है. Like, she's completely like, in your face, muffat. Like, she doesn't care whether she's looking feminine, masculine. Like, she's that person. And it's very rare for trans actors, to be very honest with you, to get the opportunity to play such diverse parts. क्योंकि
राइट।
अक्सर चाहे आप ट्रांस हो ना हो, आप एक कैरेक्टर करते हो, टाइपकास्ट हो जाते हो, you do the same thing over and over again. And for me to be Meher and then to be Amy is a huge amount of satisfaction as an actor कि मुझे मतलब इतना कुछ करने को मिला which was different from Meher. And apart from that, I also worked with an amazing acting coach called Pooja Swaroop, who's an amazing theater actor. जिन्होंने help की मेरी to understand this character because she's also going through a lot. You will see as you watch the show, she's going through a lot in her personal life. She's a victim of domestic abuse and violence and things like that. So it was difficult for me also to sort of play those parts, but यही कहूँगी कि I was very safe, surrounded by very safe actors and safe people, and we were all committed to telling this amazing story, and that was everyone's priority. And hopefully वो story सभी को पसंद आए, अच्छी लगे, and that's what I'm
फ्रॉम
looking for.
व्हाट you've told so far मुझे ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि एज ऑफ द सीट वाला टाइप का थ्रिलर है विच विल कीप अस गेसिंग राइट टिल द एंड। एंड ऐसे में ना
Yeah.
मजा बड़ा आता है शूट करने में। बट टेल मी, you're pretty young to the industry अभी भी, and ऐसे लोगों के
Yeah.
साथ काम करना who've established their name already, और जैसे आपने कहा कि खुद आप फैन जिनके रहे हो, so how was
जी.
it? वो फैन गर्ल मूवमेंट ज्यादा हावी रहता था, या you were Trinetra the actress there to do her job?
द थिंग इज आई थिंक मेड इन हेवन के दौरान मुझे ये मतलब इस बात का तजुर्बा हो गया था कि आई विल बी सराउंडेड समटाइम्स बाय पीपल हु आर far more experienced than me, because on Made in Heaven there was a Mona Singh, there was a Vijay Raz, there was Radhika Apte. So there were many people who I looked up to, who I was surrounded by. तो वो जो फैन गर्ल वाला फैक्टर होता, आई थिंक I've gotten used to it by now because
Okay.
I started my career with Zoya Akhtar, right? And she was someone I have massive respect for. And even though it was very scary for me then, it's not it's not scary for me anymore. But I will admit to one thing, ki on the first day of shoot, when I met Roshan, I was like my heart was like in my
Thumping inside.
because I was like, I'm such a big fan. I want to be professional. I want to be this thing. तो पहले 2-3 टेक्स मैंने इतने खराब किए I was just like so this thing. But I think once we fell into that groove of it's just a matter of that. Once you fall into the groove of the character and the relationship, right, it just becomes so easy. And Roshan is a very generous actor. So when you have a generous actor who's giving you so much to work with, it becomes so easy for you as a co-actor to play with that and react and whatever. So I think that is such a blessing, because ये भी बहुत होता है कि आपके co-actors generous नहीं हैं, आपके co-actors I wouldn't say अच्छे नहीं हैं, but they're just not giving. They don't give you much to work with.
Right.
But he's a very established theater actor as well, right? And you can just see that in his performance. Like he gives you so much, and I'm just blessed that I've learned so much from the people around me, even though I'm new to the industry. Um, जिन लोगों के साथ काम करने का मौका मिला है आज तक, I'm just blessed, completely blessed.
Touch wood to that. बट आप ये पूरा एक्सपीरियंस कैसे रहा? बिकॉज जब थ्रिलर में आप काम करते हैं वे यू नो द इंटायर स्टोरी बट यू हैव टू स्टिल बी द कैरेक्टर यू नो इन दैट मोमेंट कि अभी ये चल रहा है, ये एपिसोड में इतना ही है. हाउ इज दैट? उसको कंटेन करना कैसा होता है कि आपको पता है कि एंड में क्या, एंड तक क्या होने वाला है, बट यू हैव
Yeah.
टू स्टिल कीप इट एक्साइटिंग फॉर अस एज द ऑडियंस?
I think for me, what I had to do is the work I did with Pooja was setting up the arc, have a very clear idea of the arc of this character in every scene. And also when we shoot it, we don't shoot it chronologically, right? Like we're always shooting it like one episode first, one scene here, there. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So you have to also be very aware of a character's arc and where is she in this scene in this moment. And that is the greatest joy of being an actor, because that is where the dimag is important. Na? Like there is this it's so annoying to me that when I moved away from being a doctor, that everyone's like, oh, but you know, you're moving away from such an intellectual profession. And I'm like, you guys don't realize how much work it takes to be an actor also, right? And I feel like with Amy, all I had to do was stay true to the emotion of what she's feeling in that moment. And that was enough. Because what I know as Trinetra, as the end of the story, once I step into Amy, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant,
Right.
because and also it was very easy for me to do that because I'm so visually different from Amy. Like I don't have red hair in real life. I don't have a septum piercing, and Amy is such a distinctive character that when you get into the hair and makeup and you become that person, it's just that moment, and that's beautiful.
Right.
So
Now, very quickly, my last question. You have to sum it up in one sentence. You are very associated closely with the project, or you know, आप चाहते हो कि audience को ये अच्छा लगे, उन तक पहुंचे. But what is the one thing जो आप बोलोगे? Because there's so much else to also watch ना OTT
yeah,
platforms में, कि हम miss नहीं करें कानखुजरो का. एक sentence में क्या हो?
Kankhajura is extremely exciting, will keep you on the edge of your seat, is a beacon for trans representation also, which is not something you get to see. And it is something you will thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy watching every second of. So I think that
Right.
makes it very unique, and it's not one to miss. Yeah.
Correct. So teaser to बहुत interesting लगा, and I hope the rest of the series proves to be just that. And on that note, Trinetra, wishing you all the luck for all the work that you get in future, and may you get a lot of representation and hold that beacon that you've been holding for a long, long, long time. And thank you for talking to me.
Thank you so much. Means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.